Today we're just outside of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, here at Greenbrier, and we're in the search of wildflowers. In fact, the wildflowers are really good in this area, and some little waterfalls along the way because we'll be driving right along the creek here. Dawn, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do this.
We're going to check out some waterfalls, wildflowers, and take in the fragrance.
Yeah, you know, yes, you could smell those flowers in the air, and it's a beautiful day. We're looking at about 80 degrees if you're in the sun, but up here in the mountains, we're about 70 degrees, which is just perfect. Yeah, this is one of our favorite areas. In fact, during the summer months, I like to jump down in that creek there and do some swimming. I have. There's videos in our library where I'm down there and you're down there and we're swimming around. But first we're going to do is we're going to go down there, we're going to take a look at this very unique area as soon as you come in to Greenbrier here. And as you go further back, the water, you know, it's just a really great little dead-end drive. It turns to gravel and the road can be, are you got to be? You look like you're like... The thing is, the road can get kind of so, you know, you gotta pack your patience with the road. In fact, I think I bottomed the car out a few times or something on this road. I had a blowout.
Yeah.
We had a blowout on the road years ago in the other Jeep, which that's what we're in today. So, and right here in the parking lot are these little guys. Focus. There we go. Oh. It's a glorious day to be alive, to be in these mountains, to explore. So there's a little bit of a beach here, and this is where the locals come to cool off. And there's some folks down here enjoying it. Yeah, so this is a very interesting part of the park. It almost looks like it's a Martian surface or some kind of like lunar surface. So I think this is like sandstone, and the water over the eons had carved all this out here. Dawn's already taken at it. And there's my favorite little swimming hole right there. I swam all the way out, right underneath that rock. And it's super refreshing. In fact, it's almost warm enough. Now the water's probably not warm enough, but it looks inviting today. Yeah, this is a great little swimming hole. And the water's just so clear here. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. But just an amazing little place. You remember swimming down here?
Yeah, it was a nice day. You could probably get away with it right now. Some people are in the water enjoying it.
Yeah, some folks are already in there. I personally think it's a little early for that because that water's cold. But on a good 95 degree day, yes. In fact, I'm going to be back here this summer. We're going to be swimming around in there. I'm standing right on top of the little waterfall there, but it's just an amazing spot. Yet again, that's where I swim all through here. You do gotta have a water shoe on, or, you know, you'll stub your toe on one of these rocks. And Dawn's down there, she's just chilling. And on a hot day, this whole area will be filled full of people. You feel like you're on top of the world here. Just an amazing spot. And not everybody knows about this. This is more of a local thing too. But it's getting more popular as time goes on. More and more folks are learning about Greenbrier. Tadpoles. Their little tails going, Dawn.
Oh wow, I haven't seen those in years. Rod must have eggs.
They're already playing.
Oh wow, there's a bunch of them on the rocks in there too.
Oh my goodness, look at this. The beginning of life. I think that's the most tadpoles I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of like a nursery. Kind of like a nursery. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Let's start our journey. So I believe it's about 5 miles back and 5 miles. So it's 10 miles round trip. I want to say that's what it was. It's been a while since we've been back in here. So and the road can get pretty tore up, especially if it's been raining. Man, everything is so green. We were up in Pittsburgh not too long ago, and everything up there was like, you know what I mean? It was like all dreary looking because, you know, nothing had bloomed yet. And it's a 1-lane road most of the way, so you're gonna have to like pull off and back up and do all kinds of things. And some folks are not as willing, you know what I mean, to compromise. So you get this like, I'm gonna get through, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's kind of interesting. This is also another great place where you can find a little parking spot and bring a sandwich and stuff with you, you know. And you don't need 4-wheel drive or nothing for these roads. In fact, we don't use our 4-wheel drive literally for anything, to be honest with you. And this is where it turns into gravel. It looks like it's in good condition right now. They usually maintain it pretty good. So they'll try to grade it when they can. So this is a new bridge. That bridge that they were replacing. We were driving down the road, I seen that, I was like, hey, we gotta stop and look.
I didn't know they got that big.
I don't think that's a native flower. No, but I think this is not.
Yeah.
like a wildflower. That's something that has somehow ended up out here, I guess. In other words, ended it up out here. You got a nice little pull off here. I want to go down and see. Oh wow, tons of butterflies. I think I found butterfly heaven. Look at them all. Oh my goodness. That might be the most I've ever seen in one spot ever.
Wow, look at them. Monarchs too.
Well, they're liking whatever's there. It's a gathering of the butterflies.
See the black one with the orange and the blue teal in the wings?
Yeah. That is the most butterflies I've ever seen in one spot ever.
Yeah.
Usually you get like 5 or 6 of them. But there's, I don't know how many are down there. I could sit here all day and look at these guys. Yeah. Wow. Well, we're gonna let them be whatever they're doing. Something in that root or some, I don't know, they're eating something back there, but it's just amazing. You know, these mountains never stop amazing me. So this will loop back around, and then we're going to pull off up over here, look for some wildflowers. There's a bunch of trillium that's about ready to come in there. So we don't have any cell phone service. If you come out this far, you want to make sure you have a full tank of gas, some water, you know. So we're at the end of the line, the end of the road. And that's Porter's Creek Trail. We've done that many a times. There's a hiking cabin up there. And then there's a beautiful waterfall. I think it's called, oh my gosh, it's been a while. I can't think of the name. I want to call it Porter's Creek Falls, or is it Twin Creek Falls? Anyways, and this area in here is filled full of wildflowers, trillium. In fact, the one area is called Trillium Gap Trail, if that gives you an idea. You know what I mean? Of all the trillium that's in here. This is a really great area for wildflowers. We're not going to go in too far. We're just going to go up there just a little ways. Just look for some, some wildflowers. I guess that's the lost and found. A little cowgirl boot. I bet you somebody's really missing that cowgirl boot, though. You know what I'm saying?
And a hairband and a glove and another glove.
Well, hopefully it finds its owner. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just... And both sides are just filled full of wildflowers. Now, this area back in the day was all nothing but farms. And we've actually came through here during the winter months, and you can see car frames, foundations. But at one time, this would have been farms as far as the eye can see. It's pretty interesting. A lot of just old pieces of farm equipment. So the bugs out here are pretty bad. We didn't bring any bug protection, so we're gonna head back to the car, but we did see some pretty cool wildflowers. And my battery is going dead. I was doing all that filming coming up, and so I gotta go back to the car anyways. But so we're gonna turn around, head 5 miles out of here. We're gonna head over to Pittman Center. Technically we are in Pittman Center, but we're gonna head over to Pittman Center for a really cool covered bridge. We have shown it quite a few times on the channel over the years, but it's been a minute since we've been there last. So this is Emirates Cove Bridge. And the only problem about visiting this bridge is there's only 2 parking spaces available. And all around it there's no parking. A lot of the folks that live in the area do not like the tourists that come out to take a look at this bridge. And so we just gotta, we're hoping that a parking space would open. But this is the Emirates Cove covered bridge. And hopefully a parking space will open so we can show you. But if you do come out here, there's a good chance that you probably won't find parking. Sometimes folks will park and they'll put their lawn chair out, and then they'll be there for a while. Now this is not an old bridge. In fact, this bridge was just built I don't know, not too long ago. It's a newer one. Locust Ridge Road. So it's been a while since I've been up here, and this road is called Locust Ridge. And you might have heard that name before because this is the road that Dolly Parton grew up on. And there's a lot of stories she had told about her growing up in this area. And she literally lived on a ridge. On one side, it goes down, and on the other side, the same way. And there's really not a whole lot to see up here. It is a one-lane road. It's very dangerous. I don't recommend folks coming up here. So all that property over there is Dolly's, and her cabin still sits on that property. Now you can't see nothing from the road. You can't get near it. There's great big fences. There's nothing to see, nothing to do, nothing to come up here to look at. But there is one cabin that we're going to stop on our way up. And it looks just like it. It's almost identical to what she would have grown up in. Now you can go to Dollywood and they have a really nice mock-up of the cabin she grew up in. And that's the best way to see it. But just think, her original cabin is over there. And it's all surrounded by fence. And there is family members that live on the property. So when Dolly grew up here in this area, this all had to be gravel. And yeah, I can just picture all the stories that she had told about living up here on Locust Ridge. And this whole ridge used to be filled full of these little cabins. But yeah, it was a great day. I wish we could have spent a little more time at Emerson's Cove, you know, at the bridge. And the folks that were in the 2 parking spaces, they weren't going anywhere. They actually set up camp, so we weren't going to be able to park. And I know for a fact that if you try to like park on the side of the road or whatever, it's not going to end well. The neighbors, they don't, you know what I mean? You're going to get, you know, it's not going to be a good thing. But yeah, it was a great little day. We got to see all the butterflies. What did you think?
It was nice to see all the butterflies and taking in nature and smelling the flowers. And
yeah, just a little video today, a little Great Smoky Mountains video. But folks, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining us on our little Smoky Mountain adventure. Now it's time for you to have your own. We love you. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise, they'll take you to see the countryside, driving all over Tennessee in their little yellow Jeep. You can come along wherever they go, all you gotta do is watch the show, so be sure you tune in. Don, would you do this again?